light of the one infinite creator. We are those of Hatonn, and we are eager to answer your queries today. My beloved brothers and sisters in seeking, we thank you all for lending your energies and giving us this dazzling experience into human energy interactions. It is so wonderful watching a group like yours feel its way through the metaphysical Maya your density calls for. It makes the seeking you all perform far more sweeter and exciting. So please ask us any questions you think may be pertinent either to yourselves or to all of humankind. We offer our service now.
Hi, Hatonn. Thank you for coming out tonight. My first question the question I would like to ask has to do with our desires. Through my learning, I understand my spiritual learning that the things we want, the things we need, they eventually may manifest later on when we need them, or they may, or perhaps they don't. My question specifically is, do all our desires manifest? And if not, where does it go? Um, I guess I'm curious about the delay for it or reasons why our desires don't get manifested. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother, for this interesting query. Much of the density, especially in the heavily veiled, distorted, chaotic way that Earth develops, seems based around desire as a large producer of catalyst. But we feel that all seekers should know that the desire from the mind and the desire from the spirit parts of your complex, and of course, the fundamental biological parts produced by the body, all have separate desires. These interlinking patterns are mostly decided reincarnatively and they represent how the catalyst manifests. The mind, part of the complex, is designed to find things to desire. In an evolutionary sense, find things to keep you alive. Find a partner that you love. But as your civilization has increased and the complexity of desire has exponentially grown, the things the mind can chase are now near unlimited. But the seeker should learn discernment from the desires of the mind and the body, of course, and the truer desire of the spirit. That is the thing that is here to learn. The mind is the way to explore the desires of the parts of the catalyst that are brought to the mind. And the body has its own set of rules that need to be respected and can turn into or become powerful desire. We correct this instrument. Powerful producer of desire via hormones and other biological aspects. All of this can seem like a mess when viewed with the conscious mind. The desires that you may think that you want with that ego mind part of the complex are not always the things that the spirit part of the complex needs. But what is assured is that the catalyst of the want and the either receiving or not receiving are very much part of the spirit complex's plan and understanding. Desire itself is never a bad thing, and manifestation based on thoughts and feelings in the correct concept can change reality in ways you, as a species, have hardly fathomed. This does not mean, however, that you can just get everything you want instantly. Once again, that would negate the positive spiritual effect of catalyst. The desires themselves are fundamental parts of what drives you to want to complete catalyst, to integrate and accept. They are the mind's whims, but they are always for a subconscious reason that denotes the long-term game plan. We could continue, but we ask if this has addressed your query, my brother.
Yes, it answers partly, and to add more, if I can add more, I'm curious about our desires that do not seem to manifest. Where does it go? Or maybe I can ask, is there something practical that we can ask and then receive? Are there methods to help receive that which we desire on a spiritual basis? And then that's all. Thank you.
We thank you, my brother, for this further query. Desire itself is not enough to order reality in the way that we are trying to convey. Thoughts set up the framework, the thought form, prior to the realization and manifestation process. We urge a seeker to go into meditation and question and probe into the reasons for any desire. The key for proactive and practical responses can be found there. When looking for more metaphysical approaches, there is much information around the laws of attraction and the manifestation process that lay out a proto framework, a basic place to begin your search for this form of manipulation. We urge anyone inside this process to evaluate the polarity of any choices and desires that you may wish to express. Inside each magical working, intent is key in so many ways. So before embarking on any ritualistic work in this way, be sure that the psychological analysis is understood. This is why it is important to know oneself on the path to being creator. All workings of this type should begin from that meditative place. And what desired outcomes should be measured for deeper understanding, as much of the growth and changes will occur because of that reflective process, as much as the manifestation itself. Again, we hope this has addressed some of your query.
Yes, thank you so much, Hatonn. That's all. That's all that I have.
I have an additional part to that question, Hatonn. If we're designed to desire things, as you're saying, would it be correct to say that since we are, through the disciplines of the personality, regulating our thoughts, therefore regulating our hormones and emotional responses in accordance with our desires? Therefore, wouldn't that be the physiological logistics of manifestation, what we were talking about?
We are those of Hatonn, and we appreciate clarifying in this way. What you describe is a beautifully orchestrated dance, choreographed between multiple densities and unimaginable complexity and depth. Each system overlapping and interlinking to create the beautiful mind, body, spirit complexes that you inhabit. As we discussed, the desires are primarily as triggers or data points along any seeker's journey. The reaction to any of these desires will then travel through one of the energy centers in the body that will affect this connected physical tissues, such as endocrine organs. This is because the feeling, emotional part of the desire experience is felt via the body complex. And these communication systems allow the seamless physiological integration of that mental desire. This is linked into the laws of attraction due to the idea of resonance, attracting like objects. For example, oil in water. This change in vibration occurs in the nervous system via the thoughts, but is felt in the body via these endocrine systems. Both of these are important parts of any magical or energetic process, as they are all inexplicably and irreducibly linked. The idea of ritual, meditation, prayer, and many other important faculties are all based in this interconnected system. We thank you for that query and hope it has elucidated some meaning.
Yes, thank you. So you described desires as being data points or triggers. So then it would be more suffice to say that the disciplines of the personality would eventually mold the desires to possibly a more service to others centered desire set. Would that be correct?
Predominantly, yes, especially on Earth at this time, because many people pre-incarnatively want to become harvestable inside this lifetime. So even if a desire seems negative, or if a seeker wants something until it aches, these are the triggers, the pre-incarnative data points to teach you and show you what it is the spirit wants and needs. The mind and the body can scream out for them, but unless they are to best serve the incarnation for the spirit, the calls will be unheard. As humans progress, the ritualistic practices that have been used for infinitum will become more integrated and popularized And the techniques that we discuss here are the same fundamental energy craftsmanship you will all be instinctive and intuitively led to understand. I hope this has helped.
This has helped. This has helped a lot. Thank you very much, Hatonn. One final additional query to that. When we're triggered with a desire and we hold on to that desire, even if it doesn't manifest in the physical 3D, does that manifestation take place on the inner planes? And if it does, how does it affect us collectively here on Earth?
All thoughts that humans have ever thought have all manifest in some small energetic way in the many causal and astral realms that human consciousness is directly connected to.
Thank you, Hatonn.
We apologize. There has been those with Tom. We apologize for the interruption, and we would ask if you could repeat that last query.
The last query was about thoughts manifesting in the astral realms.
As we had spoken to, all human thought, no matter how small, has its own place in the many thought form realms connected to the consciousness, the greater consciousness. In the tree of mind of humanity. But part of the beauty of thought is that you can think many, many things before you decide to take a course of action. There is a place where all of those options will manifest. But once the action is made, they are energetic redundancies, you could say. This is part of the responsibility placed on any incarnated entity to choose which of those thought form realities you bring forth into the reality of everybody, of all other selves. This is why discernment and the polarity of choice is important, and why we have the freedom to think many things before we make the choices. We hope that this has given you a deeper understanding, and we apologize for the earlier interruption.
No, thank you very much. Another question. I would like to know if you could describe the difference between, metaphysically speaking, the difference between telepathy and telekinesis.
In metaphysical perception, they are remarkably similar. Remember, all is the creator, with telepathy, the realization that you are connecting to another self is important. There is no separation. You are one. Why should you not share thoughts? This same understanding allows telekinesis. You are also the object that you intend to move. Telekinesis is as much a conversation with matter the same as telepathy is a conversation with another mind. The outcomes are different, obviously. With telekinesis, you are willing the object, that unit of the creator, to abide by your will. Then the energy that your body can naturally produce can incite a physical reaction according to your will. These are both skills that all humans have some latent ability to use, but both have many pitfalls and trials before any real progress can be seen. The best advice we can give at this time is to meditate and look inside for the harmony and vibrating strings that allow the spirit to move the marionette of the body, because these same metaphysical channels that drive movement and autonomic bodily functions are the same systems that can affect that outward change. Also, with telepathy, look inward and know how your mind receives thoughts. Question if you have created it or received it. Much of the time you will find it is received. That same skill can be expanded and refined, and messages from others can then be sought, allowing far greater telepathic connection. We hope this information helps you, my brother. We fear this instrument is approaching what concentration and focus may allow at this point. We would ask if there is anyone else, and we would encourage anyone else to open themselves up as channel at this time, even if only to feel our energies. We would offer this service if requested.
Hi, Hatonn. Yes, if there are no other inquiries, I would like to feel your presence or that metaphysical hug, as you would say. We appreciate that. Thank you.
We are eager to comply. We ask that you would relax, close your eyes, and focus on your heart chakra. Then relax and open your awareness for any small changes you feel throughout your body. Just relax and be aware. We are those of Hatonn, and we are back with this instrument. We would say that was us. You could hear we feel that these connections can be tentative and small to begin with, but once that awareness is opened, it increases at an astounding rate. We would suggest that any meditations you undertake, you attempt that same procedure of opening up your awareness and feeling for the vibratory changes. This will grow stronger and stronger the more conditioning and time is spent in meditation with our higher vibrational forms. We hope this has helped you, my brother, and we urge you to continue with the practice.
Thank you, Hatonn. I will do. I appreciate it.
We are those of Hatonn. Again, we have greatly enjoyed our time with you. These types of inquiries are why these interactions are always so interesting and rewarding. We again will offer the opportunity for any other instruments to play our song, or we will be bidding you good night at this space-time point. In that case, we would leave you all basking in the wondrous light and the infinite love of the one Creator. We look forward to our next interaction, and thank you for your continued dedication. Goodbye, and Adona, my friends.
Greetings. We are those of Oxal. And we wish to share our vibrations with you at this time. We wish to share that we have enjoyed partaking in the circle this evening with our brothers and sisters of Hatonn and Latos. We would ask if we may be of service in some way before departing with our brothers. We bless and greet you in the light and love of the one infinite Creator.
Hello, Oxal. Um, can I say your energy feels amazing? But can I have a question that I'd like to ask. It comes down to inconsistencies that appear between different Confederation channelings. Not that I find any contradictory information. It seems to me more like that each group gets parts of a bigger picture. I just wondered, is there a cohesiveness between those pictures, or is it come down to the instrument that's delivering them? Is there? I hope you get the gist of my question.
We will attempt, our brother, to address the query. There are many facets to what is perceived to be a slight disjointedness of the various channelings, as you call them. However, from our perspective, there is an overarching cohesion that is energetic in nature. We weave vibrations and tones of emotion and thought behind the words and within the scenes that the words convey. And it is in the emotions and the energy invoked by those words, regardless of the external word choices or assemblages of words, the energy, the emotion that we seek to stimulate with the various patterns of words, this is the same. We see this and we feel this. It will manifest in the incarnation's consciousness and heart hitting different bells, and yet the sounds are harmoniously intertwined. And so if one portion of our words stimulates compassion, it will not matter what the assemblages of words truly are, how different they may be conveyed, what portion of space, time, information we are using, or concepts that are human in nature that we are using. The energetic and emotional effect that is stimulated, for example, compassion. This is the desired goal. And when we see this cohesion of emotion and the stimulation of perception, harmoniously coalescing, interweaving, then we have done our service. And so, although the external compilations of words may have an external disjointedness at times with one another, not seeming to have that seamless fit, we assure you from the viewpoint of ourselves, our collectives, there is harmony in the energy and the emotions and the mind, the considerations of mind that we wish to seed, stimulate, and nourish. Does this satisfy the query?
It really does so much. Thank you. The other thing I was going to ask is, with all of our separate groups, our little hubs of connection to you guys, is there a way that you can communicate between us? So, a message from our group being given to the LL group or whoever, so that there's like an intercommunication via you guys between us groups in a more orchestrated way, I suppose, is more what I'm trying to kind of push towards.
Are we being asked if we can communicate a message between circles of instruments so that they may have confirmation, or are we being asked if we do this already?
Not so much for confirmation, more for communication, more so that the groups could pull together, as it were, from different locations or from different, all under your organisation, as it were, I suppose. It's just an idea. I just wanted to know how much interconnectedness is possible between us as channeling groups, oneness being what it is,
We understand the query. From our vantage point, all instruments are linked through this invocation of the circle. There exists a subtle yet very noticeable to our eyes and the eyes of those who see beyond this third density, this network of fine threads of light connect all circles that have entangled their awareness with ours. This happens predominantly on an unconscious level for instruments, and yet we know some of you can feel it. You can feel the other instruments, those who are in activation and those who are yet to be activated, and those you do not know yet. As we are a confederation, all that we do is in a circular and interlinked manner. So we agree and say yes, that all circles are communicated with, and we communicate with you all, sharing energy and various concepts simultaneously, though they may be expressed through your instruments at different points in space, time. And on an unconscious level, for now, you also connect with and communicate with each other. Does this satisfy the query?
That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you ever so much. I really appreciate it. And can I just say, I'm honoured, and yeah, thank you.
We thank you, our brother, and all of you, for the time and dedication you have brought to this hour of space-time and time-space. It is also our honor to be with you who have taken on this most wonderful and yet most intense of roles, that is to become flesh and cut off your vision, so to speak, to stumble in a world so heavy with confusion, and yet shine the light of the One, even as your own eyes are closed. We are grateful and humbled and in awe of your service that you all give here on earth. We will dedicate our time, our energy, tirelessly to support you until that day where we may meet on more similar ground. We give you our strength and our hope and our support always. Is there any way that we may be of service at this time? We leave you then, where we always find you, in the light and the love of the one infinite creator, Adonai.